Guys, well, we're continuing our explorer expedition on the Hume and Hovell track and exploring where Hamilton Hume went. Reading his book, it became clear that he hadn't actually started at Pye Cottage in the town of Yass, but had actually started up in Appin, which is on the outskirts of Sydney, where he had a farm which his family had previously had. Now, he also owned land which was down in Gunning, and so he made his way down to Gunning, which is where he really started from for his Hume and Hovell expedition. So we're going to backtrack and travel from Gunning and explore Gunning and explore where he started from. So we're currently driving down the old Hume Highway into the town of Gunning. His estate was near a place called Fish Creek, and we'll learn more about Fish Creek later on. It's time for another one of Kevin's big adventures. This time Kevin is in the town of Gunning as we explore the starting point for Hamilton Hume's great expedition. We'll visit Pye Cottage and learn all about Hamilton Hume's brother's tragic end at the hands of Bushrangers. We'll visit free camping, we'll explore lots of areas, we'll learn about his trip actually down from Appin into the town of Gunning. So stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and enjoy the town of Gunning. Okay guys, so we found some free camping. There's a campground called Arbor Park, which is in the town of Gunning. It's a nice area, and it's 2 nights camping for free. So free camping is always good as we're travelling along. And Dougie's just having a little bit of explore. There's chairs and tables here, and there's coin operated barbecues. There's also garbage bins, toilets. The barbecues are all nice and clean, as you guys can see, and they're under shelter, so that's not too bad. Nice grass area. Here we go. Dougie's heading off now. We're going to have a look along the creek. There's a beautiful little creek here, which we're going to have an explore. This creek would have been here at the time of Hamilton Hume and his brother John Kennedy Hume, which I'll tell you a bit more about the history of John Kennedy Hume as we explore Gunning. So this is a nice area. You can see there's other people camped here. There's a playground for kids on the other side. So it's ideal camping for not just grey nomads, but also for families. Oh, here's another family coming in now. And there's also, we're heading up the bike path now on the other side. We're going to go and have an explore around town while other people are settling in. We don't want to disturb all of the other campers. And so you can see they're all down there getting themselves set up, and we're just going to stay out of their road, bit of privacy. So we're heading up the hill now, and I'm going to show you around. There's some beautiful old churches and other areas up here, so we're going to just go. Okay, so we arrived at Gunning to find out that Pye Cottage was actually open to the public. So here we are at Pye Cottage. It wasn't originally here on site. The building was actually moved to the location. It's a museum, and it's open to the public on Sundays. I think it was once a fortnight. So I would recommend you check their website. Just look up Pye Cottage to find out when they're open. There is a small entry fee, about $5, but it's well worth it. Now, I'm not going to show you everything in Pye Cottage because I don't want to spoil it. You need to go and have a look for yourself. And the displays in there change regularly. So at the time we visit, there is a display about historical health stuff, so nurses, medical, all those sorts of things at the time we're there, but it does change regularly. Their website had a lot of other interesting information about Pye Cottage, so take the time, guys, look it up. I will put the link for their website into the comments below. But this was really excellent, and I left Dougie outside while I went inside and explored, and there was plenty of places for you to actually tie up your puppy for a little bit. When you're looking at the ceilings, these old Hessian bag ceilings, you can imagine what it would have been like living in a cottage like this, and this would have been quite normal. Anyway, we're heading back now. So guys, while we've been walking around, I've noticed several places where we see the centenary of Hume and Hovell overland expedition commemorations. So the library had it, there were signs in town, and it just goes to show you that the Hume and Hovell track really did start here in the town of Gunning. So guys, this is the war memorial in the town of Gunning. It's very interesting. It's sad to think that all these people lost their lives in the war in this small community. So we'll pay our respects and continue walking on. Well guys, it's the start of day 2. We're going to see some really cool stuff as we continue around Gunning. So during the 1830s around Gunning, bushrangers were terrorising the whole area. There were loads and loads of articles in newspapers. Mr. Cooper's inn was plundered at Gunning. After a hard day working on the farm, John Kennedy Hume was sitting back relaxing when he started to hear the sound of the old-fashioned blunderbuss that could be heard for miles. Living 3 miles or 5 kilometres now from the town of Gunning, So according to the articles I read, that when he arrived in town, he was asked who he was, and he immediately told them who he was. They fired at him and he was shot dead. After being shot, they then continued to kick him and beat him. This was chronicled on the 28th of January 1840. Thomas Whitten and his gang were later tried and hung. When Hamilton Hume heard the news of his brother's death, him and Henry O'Brien from Yass headed out to deal with the problem. They, along with some Aboriginals, were able to capture members of the gang, and eventually they were all captured. Well guys, I'm not 100% sure where the Grosvenor Inn was where John Kennedy Hume was killed. Talking to the gentleman from Pye Cottage, he suggested that it was somewhere at Caxton House. So this is Caxton House. It's now private residence, but this could be the location where John Kennedy Hume was shot by bushrangers. Well guys, we had a very nice breakfast at this local cafe, the Merino Cafe. Please note, this channel that is not being sponsored by them. It was just a very nice breakfast there. And now I'm going to take us on before we leave town, and we're just going to have a quick look up at the local railway station, which is another historical site. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and as I mentioned before, I'll leave some information in the comments below, including the link to Pye Cottage.